Hi, good morning. I wanted to make a video just kind of explaining where I am in my life right now. I've shared a couple of videos recently about what I'm doing on Etsy and some of my thrift store finds, but I wanted to kind of tell you guys what the background is and why I've started sharing things when I really haven't too much before, unless it was my pets. So some of you guys know that I have chronic migraine, and it's been something that's gotten really debilitating. And it was last year, I finally went to a migraine specialist after having been working with my primary care doctor, and they had me do this survey at the beginning just to kind of see where I was. And on this survey, like a score of 20 counts as a disability. Well, my score was 55, and like I didn't realize just how bad it had gotten. I remember the first time I talked to my doctor about my migraines, and she was like, "Well, how many days a week would you say you have headaches?" And I was like, "Oh, the normal amount, 3 or 4." And she was like, "Girl, the normal amount is zero headaches." And I was like, "What? No way." And so that was kind of the start. And gosh, that was years and years ago. Um, but I'm finally at a place where I'm on a good management plan. I had talked to this migraine specialist, and she asked me, what my goal was for migraines, and I was like, to not have them. And she said, "Well, unfortunately, that's not really realistic. Our goal is to manage and mitigate." And so I'm to a point now where I'm more functional than I have been in a long, long time. And this is through figuring out what medications work for me, learning to start my medications at the very first sign instead of waiting and saying like, "Oh, Mel, maybe this will subside, or maybe I can power through this," which had been my mindset before. And spoiler alert, it never works out. I don't know why I kept doing that. But taking it at the first sign, managing triggers a lot. I found that a lot of my triggers are dietary. So unfortunately, I cannot drink beer or wine. I can't have fermented or aged things. And unfortunately, that also includes yeasty breads and like cured meats. So I'm having to change my eating habits a lot, which has also been difficult because I'm like, oh, I'll just eat this pizza, and then next day I feel terrible. And so I'm getting better. And with that, I'm having more good days, more days where I have energy, where I'm not either like feeling the onset of a migraine or recovering from a migraine. Because even when I'm not like actively in pain, I'm either in what they call like the prodrome or postdrome, and it's kind of like the afterwards is worse for me. It's like having a hangover for a few days, and I'm just exhausted. And people who are in my life a lot and like around me a lot will recognize that, because I would have days where I could just sleep all day because I'm recovering from a migraine. I'm not in pain, but I'm foggy and drained and kind of got that brain fog where you're not really thinking clearly. So anyway, as I've said, I'm a lot better. It's not perfect. I'm still improving. I'm still learning. But with that, I feel like I'm able to do some of the things that I've been wanting to do for a long time, which is including you guys and sharing what I'm doing in my classroom and what I'm doing with my Etsy shop. So this year, my big news is I'm starting at a new school. I've been at Samuel High School for the last 6 years, and I am so grateful for my time there. I have absolutely loved being there, and I've learned more at Samuel than I would have learned in any other school. I'm getting kind of, I get emotional because I had such a heart for those kids. And it's so cliche to say that, oh, I learned from them just as much as they learned from me. But honestly, I grew so much in my teaching practice because they were challenging, but they were also so eager and worthy and hungry for learning and for expanding their worldviews and expanding their mindsets. So I'm moving to a new school, and it's called City Lab. It's a choice school, so it's a little bit like a magnet, but there's no barrier for entry other than a lottery system. So they have to apply, and then once they get in, they can go. So we've got every spectrum of student. We've got students who are living in poverty. We've got students who have learning differences. We've got different cultures, different socioeconomic status. You've got kids with IEPs, just everything. And so the real benefit, I think, is it's a small school, so much smaller than Samuel, and it's got specialized learning paths. And so a lot of the public schools, there's like a dozen different paths that kids can take, but in this school, there's two. Excuse me. So there's City Lab, which is focused on like urban learning. Oh, it's an ad. I have a YouTube background going. Boop. So they learn urban like design, urban architecture, horticultural design, things that like about city governance, just everything that it takes to be a good citizen in your city and what it takes to actually run as a community. The other one is IDEA, which is more of an entrepreneurial focus. And so kids are learning to do business plans. They get hooked up with community business leaders and they get internship opportunities. And so when I interviewed, I felt so passionate about their program and the support and love that they have for their kids. And I really vibed with the team. And I had applied at another school, one of the magnet schools, and I had a really good interview there too, and I had good vibes about it. But my heart felt called to City Lab, and I think it's because it has a full spectrum of students. These are not the high achievers. Don't get me wrong, like these are great. These are going to be great kids, but they're not the gifted and talented kids. They're not the kids who are getting straight A's all the time. And besides the mission of City Lab and IDEA, I felt like these are kids who need what I have. And the kids at the magnet school, they're going to get what they need, whether I'm there or not. They're going to be okay. But where can I put my passions where they're going to have the biggest impact? And I felt like that was City Lab. So I'm starting there this coming school year. In fact, I'm going to go there tomorrow and start setting up my classroom, and I hope to be able to share some of that with you. I'm also selling on Etsy again. So I used to sell on Etsy. This is kind of like my third time on Etsy. My sister and I did handmade items. You might hear my cat making noise, sorry. My sister and I made handmade items on Etsy when it first started years and years ago, and we had a great time. We went to craft shows, we got featured a few times either on the Etsy homepage, or I have news clippings from when our items were in the Dallas Morning News. We had a great time. It was never about making money, it was more about having fun, doing something new, and spending time together. And eventually we kind of, ran our course on that. And then after a while, I did Etsy and sold vintage. And that kind of blew up. I did really well, but I had to stop when my marriage started falling apart because I just didn't have the bandwidth to do it. And now I'm in a new relationship. It's going really well. And he shares the same kind of passion that I do about vintage goods and connecting people with the items that they're looking for. And so it just felt really easy and really natural to get back into it. And so I would like to keep sharing some of those stories with you as well. So I want to share my classroom stories. I want to share the vintage stories. And I hope that you guys will continue to support me and share with me your lives, and that I can be more present as well with you. So that's just an update on where I am and why I've been sharing a few more videos lately, and I hope to keep it up. If you don't see me for a minute, it's probably because I'm not feeling well, not because I'm not into it. But yeah, so thank you so much. I really appreciate all the love and support that you guys have given me over the years, and I want you to know that I haven't missed it. it's greatly appreciated, and it has sustained me through some really difficult times. And so, especially in my classroom, honestly, last year I'm rambling past the point I meant to talk, but I'm going to keep going. Last year, I had a wish list that I shared, and I was seriously overwhelmed with the support that you guys gave with those classroom supplies. And I really, really, really wanted to show you the difference that that support made to the students in my classes. But because of kind of my health issues and some other things that were going on, I was overextended in my school a little bit, and so I just wasn't able to. But this school year, it's going to be a priority for me to give back the love and support that you guys are showing me and my students, and by sharing that, by showing you what your support does and the difference that your support makes in the lives of these kids. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. Thank you again for your comments and your likes and everything. And I hope to catch up with you again soon. Bye.